Who wants cinnamon rolls?
Me.
Me too. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.
Hi, I'm Shaylin, and you're watching Cooking with the Robinsons, where we recreate our favorite family meal and put them on video so that you can duplicate them at home. So today we are making one of my favorite childhood memory recipes, and it's homemade cinnamon rolls. So we're going to start out with some flour, and as always, look below for all the measurements and all the ingredients. Now with that flour, we're going to add some instant milk and some sugar, some salt. We're just going to start out with that and put it on low for a couple minutes. All right, after that's mixed on low, next we're going to add some vegetable oil. And just add that in, and we're going to go for another 2 minutes. Now, I grew up in Sealy, Texas, and believe it or not, this recipe is the cinnamon roll recipe that I ate when I was in junior high and high school. It was only 25 cents, and they were so delicious. A couple of years back, the Sealy News actually posted this recipe, so I'm not the only one that has fond memories. Okay, next step is we're gonna add some water. And after you add this water, we'll just go for another minute and add our active yeast. Now just yesterday, I had the opportunity to talk to Johnny Klatt, and she was head of the high school cafeteria when I graduated. Now her supervisor was Albina Lesher, and other high school graduates recall the cinnamon roll tradition starting back with Georgia Newsom. All right, now what I did prior to starting this whole thing is I activated some yeast. And if you're interested in knowing what that is, basically you get some yeast, you get a packet of yeast, and you warm up some water to 100 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it hits that temperature, add in your yeast, add in a little bit of sugar and stir it up, and you just let it sit for about 10 minutes. And so as you can see, it is fluffy and it is ready to add into the mix. Now this is super important because if you don't have yeast that is activated and ready to go, all of your hard work is not going to matter because it's not going to rise. So that's it. Now we'll turn it on for 2 more minutes and then we're ready to let it sit. Now after that 2 minutes, go ahead and put your speed up to medium, and you're gonna need that dough for another 8 minutes. While mixing, I noticed that my dough seemed a little wet, so I went ahead and added some additional flour. If this happens to you, just add a little bit until you get the right consistency. All right, once that dough gets this consistency, this is perfect. You're just gonna wanna take it off of that hook, and we're gonna add it into this bowl. Now what I've done to this bowl is I've covered it with vegetable oil, not just on the bottom, all the way up, and I did that and just made sure that oil was all around it. I'm gonna put this dough in a ball, put it here, cover it, and put it in a warm and dark room for about an hour. Okay, so it's been an hour, and the dough has risen. Look how beautiful that is. And look when you push it down, how it just kind of comes back up. That's perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and get that dough on a lightly floured surface. And when you do that, we're gonna go ahead and punch it, get some of that air out of it, and we're gonna go ahead and cut it in half. And I'm gonna make 2 different balls. So I'm gonna take part of this, just wrap it back underneath, make another ball, put it on the bottom of that bowl, and we're gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna put that, just let that sit there just for a second. Now over here, what I've done to prepare after we roll out this dough is I've made some cinnamon and sugar, and I've mixed it up really good. That's for all that good yumminess that's gonna be inside. I also melted some butter in the microwave just to have that good and ready. We're gonna put that butter on after we've rolled it out, and we're gonna put that sugar on top of that butter so that it's gonna stick together. And as you can see here, I also have a pan, and I sprayed some Pam on it just so that the cinnamon rolls won't stick to the bottom of it. So, okay, it's time to go ahead and roll out this dough, and I just love that. That is perfect, perfect. And as you roll it out, you're gonna wanna make a rectangle. So as you can see here, it's gonna take a little working with it, and you want it to eventually be about 1/4 inch thick. Now make sure and leave a small space between your rolls as they will rise and spread. You're gonna place a towel over it and put it in a warm and dry area for about 30 to 50 minutes. Okay, so the rolls have risen and it is time to put in the oven. You're gonna wanna put in the oven at 400 degrees for about 18 to 20 minutes. Okay, so while those cinnamon rolls are warming up in that oven, we're gonna go ahead and make the icing. And you can make any type of icing that you want. I typically really love cream cheese, but to stay true to Sealy and the recipe that Georgia gave us, I'm gonna go ahead and do exactly what she did. So go ahead and take some powdered sugar and add some whole milk in 1 tablespoon at a time. Now with this icing, I believe I did about 4 to 5 tablespoons until I got the right consistency. Now thanks so much for watching. As you can tell, you're watching Cooking with the Robinsons. We create our favorite family meal and we put them on videos so that you can duplicate them at home. So if you're looking to mix up your everyday meals and get some new ideas, feel free to like and subscribe. And then also click that bell notification, and that way every time we come out with a new video, you will be notified. Now we're about to taste these cinnamon rolls, but if you're from Sealy, stick around. You may very well be featured at the end of this video.
Okay, so Shaylin, you have slaved over the kitchen making these beautiful cinnamon rolls. I'm ready to taste them. You want to give them the first taste?
Absolutely.
Since you were the one that had them at your school. Oh, you want?
Oh, girls are ready to eat these cinnamon
You had them
rolls.
at your school. You can tell us, did you do a good job? Is it what you remembered in high school? Oh gosh. Oh my word. Let us have some of this thing.
Oh my goodness. That is just as I remembered. I do remember them being a little loftier, like maybe a little taller. So maybe if I'm gonna do it over again, I might do a little more than just an inch, just to make sure that they're tall. But oh my gosh, the flavor is there. It's totally there.
Make these at home. It's totally worth it. You're gonna love it. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Say bye, everybody. Bye.